Nice. We talked a lot about querying data, like finding out information, but can we manipulate the data? I mean, can we add more records? Can we update them? Can we delete them? Let's talk about inserting new records. So when you talk about adding a new row, we talk about insert. Okay, so we're gonna say insert into customers values, and then we're gonna put some parentheses, semicolon here. Now the syntax is out like this: insert space into, and then table name, space values, and some parentheses here. And within the parentheses, you gotta specify the value for each column in order. Okay, in this case, you have to have the order. So the first, you look up in the left-hand side, you can see the customer ID is the first one. So as you can see, there's already a 5, so I'm going to add 6. And then if I want to separate these column values, I need comma. I like to add a space after comma, but that's not necessary. Okay, now I need, what's the next column here? After customer ID, there's first name, right? So I got to write the first name within quotes. Let's say, I don't know, let's say somebody, Anna, and then comma. Now I need the third. Well, that's the last name. So last name, I'm saying long. And then the fourth column here is age. I'm going to say 21, comma. Now the next column is country. Let's say Canada. Okay. Now let's click run. See what happened there? If you notice, we now have a new row in the column customers. So typically when you have databases, the ID column usually auto increments for you, so you don't have to specify it. But here it's not really, I don't think it works that way in this environment. So I have to specify the ID there. Okay, you might be asking, okay, I have to always follow the same order. What if I don't know, for some reason, I don't know the order of the columns? Obviously, if you have access to the database, you're going to know the order, but let's suppose you don't know. You can always go here before values. You can specify the column names here. Let's say I say customer ID is the first, but then let's, for some reason, use last name before the first name. And then age and country. So make sure to specify all the column names separated by a comma. Now you might notice there's no quotes around them because they're a special thing. They're column names. So no need. Now, if you notice, I put last name before first. Now, if I do this, I got to swap these two because this one is for the first one here. So they're all like corresponding in order. The last name in this case would be Anna, which is wrong. So I would have to swap this one with that one there. Like, make sure the syntax is correct. And I put in a new row so you can see better. The line break doesn't matter, okay? I can break it into a new line, and that won't change a thing. I just made it so you can see it better. You might have noticed I'm typing everything in a single line, but you don't have to. Usually the SQL queries will be very long, so you can break them down in multiple lines. And there's usually a convention for that if you want to follow. But okay, what happens if I do that? Oh no, if you read the error, unique constraint failed on the customer ID. So it says table name dot column name. You're gonna see this a lot. So unique constraint. So the column customer ID has a constraint called unique, meaning I cannot have a same row of different rows with the same customer ID. So that's important because it has to be something unique so that every row has something unique you can query for. So since I cannot have that there, I'm going to put 7 here. Now, if you notice, there's no protection about first name and last name. It can be the same. You know, probably in the world, there are people with the same name, right? So I wouldn't add a unique constraint to the names. And probably they could have the same age and same country. That's totally possible to have these kind of things. They could be the same, different people by the same name. Okay, and if you notice, the last name is the same, even though the order here was changed. So if you need to order any way you want, just specify the column names here and order any way you want, but make sure that the values right hand side here is corresponding in order to the names that you wrote.